Hi guys, Autumn here today to do my last week of July and first week of August um, wrap up. I'm so sorry I didn't film one a few weeks ago or last week. Yeah, last week. Um, it's just been a hectic, crazy week for me. It started with one of my family members had to go to the hospital and have surgery, and then um, they are back home now, so I've been helping with them when they need stuff and been watching my dogs, so I haven't really been able to record. I've been reading, I've read 12-ish books, so I'm going to talk about those. So let's start. The first one was Force by Renee Rose. This was the Read Me Romance podcast for the last week of July, but I finished this on Saturday, August 1st, and I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. This follows, I'm gonna really butcher her name, Marian, what I don't remember. It's not in the synopsis, so I had to remember what her name was, but I can't. And Victor. And this is a BDSM book. So I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. This was the first book by this author. And yeah, I liked it. And then I read Can't Fight It by Kaylee Ryan and Lacey Black. This is book 3 in the Fair Lake series. This follows Hollis and Colton. I would recommend you read this series in order because you meet Colton in the second book, and this picks up right where the second book finishes. But anyways, Colton is now a single dad, just got back from the military. He decided to not rejoin Realist because he has a son now, and then he just moved into a house and he has like a in-law suite, and he puts in a advertisement for a roommate, and Hollis is that roommate, and it's their story. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, and this came out on the 28th of July. Then I read Hitching the Cowboy by Kennedy Fox. This is book 1 in the Circle B Ranch series. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars, and this met the challenge for 2 or more authors for Tropicana Readathon that's happening all month long in August. And I give this 4 out of 5 stars. This follows Zoe and Riley, who Riley and his best friend decide to go to Vegas for his best friend's birthday, and then Riley and her sister are there. Zoe is there with her sister for her sister's bachelorette party, and it's their story. They ended up getting married and trying to figure out how to go along with that. 4 out of 5 stars. It was cute. And then I read Until Talon by Aurora Rose Reynolds. This came out on the 4th of August. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This is book 9 in the Until Her, Until Him series. This follows Talon and Mia, and this met the challenge for ebook on Tropicana Readathon. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, and this, as I said, like almost all Aurora Rose Reynolds, there are more romantic suspense. This one's no different. Alpha male, possessive, instant love for the most part. So just be aware. I love that, so I don't mind it. But so there's that. And then I read Crow by Azavialia. I'm so sorry. I'm going to butcher that. This is book 1 in the Boston Underwood series. This is actually one I read in July. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars for this book by this author. This is a dark romance, mafia romance series, so just be aware it is darker. But this follows Mackenzie and Lachlan. I'm going to say Lachlan. This is the Irish mafia, so they're pronounced a little different, but that's what I'm going to say. But Mackenzie, one of her best friends goes missing, and she wants to figure out what happened to her, so she decides to go undercover in a strip club, and that's when she meets Crow, and it's their story. 5 out of 5 stars. But the reason I started with that one is because I then read book 2, what can I speak? Reaper. And this follows Sasha and Ronald. Yes. No, not Ronald. Rana? Rana? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm butchering these names. But this follows a different couple. Sasha is one of the dancers at the nightclub, and Reaper is like mostly he is like the hitman of the gang of the mafia. He is like the person that kills. And it's their story. This one's a little darker. I should also mention that these books do have some rape scenes and abusive scenes. So just be aware of that. I know that's not for everyone, but I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. And then I read book 3 in that series, Ghost, who followed Halia and Alexia. Again, sorry about butchering names. And I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. This met the challenge for part of a series in the Tropicana Readathon. And yes. And then I read The Darkest Hour by Maya Banks. This is book 1 in the KGI series. I listened to this on audio from Audible Escape package. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. This follows Rachel and Ethan. Ethan is part of the military, and his wife goes missing, and he tries to find her, and when he does, she doesn't remember him. So I use this for the Amnesia Challenge in Tropicana Readathon. It also meant the challenge for Soldier Street in both the Moon Pack and the Sun Pack in the Romanceopoly. So, yes. And I'm pretty sure that is all of the Kindle books that I've read. I own everything else, yeah. So, then the last book I read in July was The Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This follows Olive and Ethan. Olive and Ethan are, this is more of like an enemies to lovers fake dating. Excuse me. And Olive's sister is getting married, and then on the day of her marriage, her wedding guests all get really bad food poisoning, so she can't go on her honeymoon. So Olive and Ethan were the only two people, guests, wedding guests that did not get sick, so they go on her honeymoon, but they have to pretend to date. I listened to this on audio, and I used this for the pop culture challenge, and with this, I did get one bingo on that. Out of 4 bingo cards, I only got one throughout the month. But I did manage to read a total of 32 books in the month of July. So that's good. I'm really happy about that. So yes. And right now I'm at 191 books read for the year. So that's really good. I'm really happy about that. And right now for the month of August, I've read a book a day. Because I've read 10 books in August. So yes, that's really good too. And then the next one I read was Take a Hint, Dani Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is book 2 in the Brown Sisters series. I enjoyed this book more than I enjoyed the first book. Again, this is fake dating, and it follows Dani, who is a PhD student, and she one day gets stuck in an elevator, and like the maintenance guy, security guy, realizes there was a fire alarm or some type of drill, and he notices she's not there, so he goes and looks for her, and he finds her in the elevator, and then he carries her out like it shows in the picture, and someone is recording it, and people think they're dating, so they decide to fake date, and it's really cute. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Also listened to this on audio, and this was for fake dating trope for my teen book for the Tropicana readathon. So I got 100 points for finishing this one. So yes. And then I read The Boyfriend Project by Fiera Rochon. I am so bad at pronouncing names right now, and I'm so sorry about that. But this I gave 4 out of 5 stars. Listen to this on audio, and this counted for audiobook for Tropicana Readathon. First book by this author, I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This follows Samaya and Daniel, and Samaya is dating this guy, and one day when she's supposed to go on a date with him, her sister is reading tweets about a horrible date going wrong, and she realizes that's her boyfriend, so she meets him, and then the 2 other women that he's dating all come up and interrupt that date, and then they make a pact of no guys for 6 months, and they have a weekly meeting. I really enjoyed this, but I would say this is more women's fiction than it is romance. There is a little bit of romance, but go into it knowing that it's more women's fiction, and I think you'll enjoy it more. I went into this knowing it was more women's fiction than romance, so that's why I think I enjoyed it more. But anyways, this follows Samaya, and she is working on the Friends app, and then she works at another like high-end thing, and Daniel is like mostly a spy. I forget what he does, like, but he's not who he says he is, and it's their story. 4 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it. And then lastly, I read Midnight Sun by Stephenie Meyer. This is book 5 in the Twilight series. This came out on the 4th of August. I read the majority of this yesterday. I read 544 pages of it yesterday, and then I finished it today. But I'm giving this 4 out of 5 stars. This is Edward's point of view of Twilight, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed getting into Edward's mind. I did listen to this on audio, and this met the challenge for book with over 500 plus pages on Tropicana Readathon, and I'm super excited to have read this, and yeah, those are all the books I've read, and yes, all the books I've read. If you want a review on any of these, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do a full review on those. If you've read any of these, what did you think of them? And I'm so sorry if I feel like I just said a spoiler for this one. So if I did, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that. So yeah, my bad. But you do find out about that, but I may have did a spoiler. So if I did, I'm so sorry. Just know that this is a woman's fiction, more so than romance, and I think you'll enjoy it. But again, I apologize if I spoiled this. My bad. But anyways, there's all of those books that I read. I only have 9 more challenges left for Tropicana, and it's only the 10th day of August. So yes, my goal is to probably finish at least 6 maybe in this week, which is very possible because I have a lot of them on audio from my library, so I need to listen to those. So yes, my goal is probably to finish 6 of them. If I finish more than them, that would be great. And then the rest of the month, I could just add points for every page I read. So yes, I think I'm like at maybe 250 or 2,500 points so far. So that's really good. I'm proud of that. So yes, that is my wrap up for the last 2 weeks, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.